All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a little mix of meme stock, little mix of viewer requests, but we're going to look at GameStop, CHWY, and Reddit on this one, all right? So look, I'll be honest with you, this is some of the craziest charts I've seen in a while, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 doji candles in a row. For real, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. All right, Soundhound was close. I've been talking about that string of them right there. There was, depends on like the GameStop. I mean, I'm gonna get into all these tags. I'll talk about this when I get into it, right? But oh my goodness, that's just crazy right there. All right. When we look at CHWY kind of looks similar. It's not as like textbook doji, but this thing is really trying to hold, trying to overcome, trying to recover the 8 and the 20. And it's been that same battle that we just saw in GameStop, all right? Obviously, both have a good chance of making some real good moves if volume comes, and I'll talk about the high sides of them. But, oh man, the battles on those two are actually, I mean, they're really cool for a stock nerd like myself. I'll tell you that, all right? And then Reddit. Reddit's almost the same kind of story, but it's not as tight as a battle. This thing, I really thought right here it was going to go into all-time highs. I did. I actually really thought right here the 8 moving average was going to catch it and it was going to go into all-time highs. We are once again trying to get into all-time highs because, again, Reddit hasn't been around for that long, right? We are, we technically actually did get as high as it's ever gotten today, it looks like. But, again, I care more about candles than wicks, and that's going to be the continual focus on that. But all three of these are actually really interesting battles for really big moves up, or that other side of the coin that you just don't want to talk about too much, but you never can forget about it. All right, so excited to talk about these for sure. But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it all right? So, GameStop. Look, this is one of the most interesting, 2-week span I think I've ever seen on a single chart, all right? You know me if you've watched my videos before. If you're first time here, hey, welcome. I'm not a candle guy, all right? I don't talk about the oh man, I'm gonna mess up the names because there are so many different names for candles, right? There's Daddy Long Leg this, there's the Hammerhead something that, there's one that sounds like the gorilla, the Harambe. I don't really know which one it is, but I'm telling you, so many candles, all right? The only candle I respect, I care about, and for real, makes me sometimes make very different decisions than the lines themselves will tell me to do. It's the doji candle. All right, so what's a doji? Look, stocks trade for about 7 hours, right? I'm on the let's just do it from the East Coast. It opens at 9:30 a.m. and then it closes at 4 p.m., right? So not quite the normal 8-hour working day. It's about 7, give or take. For a stock to basically look at this day. All right, let's look at this Wednesday right here. If you're looking at the box, perfect. If not, I'll read everything to you. 22 million shares were traded on this single Wednesday. And this thing opens at $24.97 and closes, sorry, other way around. It opens at $25 flat and it closes at $24.90 in a 7-hour day with 22 million shares traded. It moves 3 cents. Let's look at this one right here. I had a snort on this one. So we're looking at Tuesday the 9th. This thing opens at $24.60. This thing closes at $24.60 in an entire 7-hour day on 9.5 million shares. We move nothing. Dojis are uncertainty. In an entire day, the people can't agree on should this thing go up or go down, right? And it's so close. It's so close. Look, there is a quick little line between here and 40 plus. All right. There's also a couple moving averages away from us losing $6. That's about a 20-ish% drop right there. That's a big drop as well. When the risk reward is that big, and sometimes you can find moments where the reward is like a 30% up, and hey, maybe the risk is a 5% down. That's a little bit easier to swallow. Losing 20%, that's a big number. And that, to me, looks like it could happen very, very fast. As fast as this thing can fly up. And that's why we've just been living in this doji. Wait till tomorrow, wait till tomorrow, wait till tomorrow, wait till tomorrow. We've done that, though, holding the 50, getting ourselves over the 8, and actually for the last couple days in a row, getting us over the 20, the 50, and the 8. I mean, that right there is an interesting little movement. This MACD went from, hey, I'm positive to I might go negative to, hey, we're actually holding the positive as best we can. This RSI went from super flat to, hey, maybe it's a 63 getting ready to go into 70 and 80. The one real missing thing here is the volume. All right. Look, 16 million shares is a lot. All right. There's some stocks that will never get this in a week. In a full 5 days, they're not going to get 16 million. All right. The problem really is this white line. Our average volume over the last 50 days is 62 million shares. We're pretty much 80% under that, right? I'm roughly using 12 and 16 as the same number, right? But we're significantly below the volume expectations. We're not hitting it. Now, the good thing is, look at this. In April and May, we were a lot lower. We were at 3 million. We were at 7 million. Sorry, 3 point something, 4 point something, 3 point. So the fact that we're at 16 is significantly better. So hey, that roaring kitty moment, as horrible as it is to see it go from 60 to 20-ish, hey, our volume is actually like 4x what it was before Roaring Kitty did his thing. I think the dude's name's Gil. That's a good thing. Again, not quite enough volume just yet, but hey, volume's improved, and I'm gonna take that as a plus for now. Look, we gotta escape the moving averages. All right, if we can get closer to this 20, let's even do this. Let's see if I can do this. Give me a second. What's this number? That's too low. I think that's the same number we were just at. 28.30. If anything, I think I moved it down a couple pennies. If not, you can tell how much I remember the lines. I think we need to get into the 28s. If you want to lower it a little bit to 28 flat, I think that's a respectful, it's a good... We need to believe we've escaped the moving averages. Otherwise, for real, if this loses $24.50, maybe I'm willing to swallow as low as 24 flat. I'm literally clicking at 23.99. I think 24 is the lowest I'm willing to let this go. If we get to 24, I think 20 will be next. And roughly speaking, that's a 20% loss. You're talking, it's a little closer to 5 than 4, but you get it, right? We want to get to 28, and then from there, it's going to be real hard to stop 45. Maybe something around that 40, maybe some, I don't even need to draw any other lines. We're looking for 28. We're looking to escape. MACD RSI ain't bad, but it's all about the volume, all right? So what do we need? We need, let's take out our trusty little calculator here. I need, give me 70, because look, let me click it again. When I click here, the average is 62. All right, I would love to be just a little bit higher than the average. All right, that would be cool. I think that's the 70 number. Oh wow, this is the easiest math I'm going to do. In a 7-hour day, we need 10 million shares in the first hour. We need 20 million shares by that second hour. Give me even a little bit more than that, and oh man, this can be some real good. All right, so. GameStop is close. It for sure is. But I think the risk reward is why this is so tight. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. I'll call you back. The weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly. Oh, the weekly is saying a real big story here. The weekly is trying to escape that 200 moving average, and you can see it even when the Roaring Kitty stuff happened. We got really above it, but we didn't close above it. This is not a good weekly candle. This week, you can see it in the box over there, actually opens at 40 and closes all the way down. A lot of people lost a lot of money this first week of June. And then again, that's not a good candle, and lo and behold, we have been under the 200 moving average, and we are once again trying to get over, and look, that 8 moving average might have caught it. This is an interesting weekly. It is, what's this number here? 2640. Maybe knowing that 2640, it could be a little bit easier to like lower it to 20. I think this is going to be the lowest I'm willing to put my line. 2780. I think between 2750 and 2780, give or take, I think that's going to be our money line right there. This is an interesting game chart. I'm really glad I looked at that weekly as well. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. What was the next one? It was CHWY. This one has all of a sudden become a little bit Roaring Kitty as well. I am not, look, I don't follow like the Roaring Kitty meme stuff, right? One of the beautiful things about the Discord, one of the beautiful things about the YouTube group and stock twits and everywhere is there are so many different types of traders. There are so many different strategies. Like not everyone is doing my moving average stuff, and we definitely get a bunch of different inputs. And I know I saw something that said this is Roaring Kitty connected. I'm not 100%, and I would love some answers in the comments if you know. Are we 1,000? Like for sure, it's the Roaring Kitty dude that did it. I think what I saw was there was a lot of assumptions. I think what I saw was there was a big option that was purchased that mimicked what he did for GameStop. And again, I don't know if I'm wrong. Let me know if it's actually 100% for sure, but I do believe there's a Roaring Kitty connection, all right? But hey, I'm about to talk to it. I like the technical setup here, all right? So really quickly, if you can subscribe, hey, if you can share this video, it does wonders with the algorithms, all right? So look, it's that same doji, kind of candle, doji little battle I was just talking about with GameStop, all right? We have, look, if you've watched my videos, you've heard me sing this 1,000 times. And I say sing, like, you break them all and you fly, you lose them all and you die, right? Like that thing rhymes for a reason. It's cute, okay? Though we've gotten over all the lines, we really haven't been able to fly. And the big reason for that, we never really confirmed. That's a good candle and that's not. That's a good candle and that's not. That's a good candle and that's not. That's a decent one. And I think that this and this is that probably would have fooled me. I'll be real honest with you, especially when you get these like crazy little dojis, and I think maybe that's why we saw that little quick run right there. But that's the only interesting 1-2 green above all 5. Otherwise, like I said, it's basically a decent one, all right, bunch of nothings. Decent one, all right, bunch of nothings. We still kind of don't have that yet forming. We still don't have the one good candle where I'm going to say, hey, tomorrow I hope it confirms, right? Monday isn't going to be a confirmation. Monday, we're still looking for that one good candle, right? The thing is, all right, I'm going to zoom out before I talk about here. The thing is, look at it. Just look at it. And you know, it's one of my favorite other things to sing. I'll draw the line because I'm surprised. I thought I actually had it. I'll probably make a better one. Let's actually put it right here. Where we're basically at. And then let's put the next line, what, roughly right there. Yeah, that's a good place. Between here and here is nothing but red, green. nothing, 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 red, 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 nothing, 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 green, 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 red, red, red. It feels like there's a quick green, green, green about to run to that 31-ish, right? We just got to, wow, literally put the line where we're at. Look at that, goodness. We just need to confirm, all right? That's the only thing that's missing. I think the line we're hunting for is right there. I think if this thing can get to 28.35, that is what's going to make me believe that we've broken all the moving averages. We've broken all five and we're ready to fly, all right? RSI was high not that long ago. This thing was in the 80s, so we're at the 50s right now. This thing knows how to get up there, and we can make a good little run. Volume, I would actually even say, is better than GameStop, all right? Like, this is clearly lower volume, right? This is only 9 million compared to the 16. The issue with GameStop was GameStop's only at 16 when it needs to be a lot closer to 60, right? When I look at CHWY, it's only 9 million. Hey, but we actually only need to be at 13 to do well. We're so close to it. We've got some interesting dojis, just a little bit more. And hey, CHWY's knocking on the door. CHWY is knocking on the door. And from there, I'm trying to look for, oh, that's our good candle right there. Let's use the top of that. And then, goodness, 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 goodness. Let's use the top of that. And look at that. Okay, so I was looking at this November calendar. It happens to be the top of that. Looks like it's a little bit of the top of that. Looks like it's almost half of that. I like that 40 line for sure. 28, 32, 40. Those are our lines up. The last thing that this thing can do, this thing cannot go lower than 24.40. If we lose 24.40, I think it's going to be a fast fall to 21. It actually might even lose that 21 and come as low as 19 something, all right? But yeah, CHWY is close. Hey, Roaring Kitty, I'm not here to buy because someone else did. And I really sincerely hope that's the same for you watching my, I'm just a dude on the internet giving my opinions, right? If I do my best to not let you know where my money's at, but hey, even if I slip and say, hey, I'm in this one, just because I'm in it doesn't mean you should. I actually am wrong more than I'm right. This is really just fun. I've got a full-time job and blah, 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 right? So just because the Roaring Kitty dude maybe bought it or maybe even for sure bought it, that's not going to make me click buy unless I do my homework and all that, right? So let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, look at that. I like this a lot, and I'll tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the 100 moving average. It's definitely coming down, coming down, coming down. If I had to guess, next week is probably going to open around that 28. If we can break that 28, oof, the weekly is even saying maybe a little higher than that. Look, do not think higher than 40. This is only 26 bucks, all right? But I like our lines a lot, actually. Red, 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 green, 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 green. This could be a nice little weeks. 73 is a little higher on the RSI side, and it actually doesn't get much higher than that. Interesting. It's gotten to the 80s, but yeah, we can at least go from 73 to 83, and then we'll see what it looks like around 83, all right? But yeah, I think that 28 is going to be the big, big number here. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Please let me know if you know about the Roaring Kitty connection, position, whatever. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, let's look at the last one. I wanted to do Reddit on this one. Oh, man, Reddit. I'm just going to zoom out. Look. There are pros and cons with a brand new chart. And hey, this thing's been around for a little bit more than 50 days, right? Like this right here was the 50th day. That's why we have the 50 moving average. Has not been 100 days yet, right? So this is still a relatively new stock. And man, this thing is knocking on the door of all-time highs, all right? And I'm telling you, I've been hunting it. It hasn't hit quite yet, all right? Real quick, if you can subscribe, if you can share, that'd be really, really appreciated, and it helps a lot, actually. Look at this thing. First off, we haven't even been around for 20 weeks just yet, all right? But on the weekly, all this thing is doing is bouncing. And look, we finally have an RSI. It's finally been 14 weeks. We see that it's a 71 RSI. Not the lowest, but hey, it's not the highest either, right? The daily has been just frustrating, all right? My line was obviously down here, and you can clearly say that we've made a good move. We've gone up a little bit more than 10% since we've broken that line right there, right? I will be honest, I've been looking for a little bit more of an all-time high rocket, but man, even on the daily, this is just bouncing on the 8 moving average, right? This is for sure under it. This is not confirmation. This is a textbook doji, and today's a beautiful candle the day after. I talked about that a little bit with Soundhound. I don't know if you're going to watch that video later, or maybe already did, but that's a doji. That's a beautiful candle today. That makes me believe in more, right? When I look at Reddit, that's a textbook doji. That's a beautiful candle. I'm going to still believe in a little bit more, all right? It barely did it, but look, this big candle, the biggest candle to the left, this day closed at 73.51. You can see today we closed at 73.85, so we are actually over the biggest candle to the left. We are over the 8 moving average. We did get a good doji answer. 81 RSI is probably the only little concern I got here, but hey, we're hopefully going to get some good volume, and maybe good volume will erase that. But look, this thing is just bouncing on the 8 moving average. It's not quite that all-time high blue sky rocket that I've been looking for, but again, this has gone up more than 10%, right? This thing is still holding the lines. This thing is still breaking candles. The only real difference is just the volume, all right? 3 million is not bad at all, but we've been higher, and we actually stayed higher for a number of days, right? So if we can find ourselves back in that like 10 million volume realm, oh, that would make Reddit a lot harder to stop. But believe me, I have not taken this one off my radar yet. I am once again bullish going into Monday. Like, things do look good here, right? Green over red, volume's almost there. I mean, we're over the MAs. It's hard not to like this. It's just sometimes frustrating when you're expecting more and you get this, right? But you got to just pinch yourself and say, hey, don't get angry at a 10% move, all right? So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, thank you so much.